The Twitter contest for some of us that joined new, the Wi-Fi, SSID and the password are the same. And if you tweet with this hashtag today, we're running a Twitter contest and Albert is going to be the decision maker. Who's going to win the Twitter contest? And we'll make it transparent by publishing the tweets that the person tweeted. So that's how it's select. Okay, so keep tweeting. And Nagesh is our next presenter who is talking about N-based retrospective. This is a slight swap in the agenda. JP has agreed to go after the lunch, so I'm going to go check on the tea and Nagesh is yours.
Yeah, and thank you JP. After the tea.
Yes.
I would like to thank JP as well to accept this request for the last moment. Okay, here's a question for everybody. How many of us think that our retrospectives are effective? Say I.
Effective. Third person. Important. Tangible. Third person. How do you know? How do you know?
What makes you think so?
Powerful question. What makes you think that?
Who wants to go first?
Because we have seen tangible results after that. What are those results which you have seen? Our velocity has improved. Our progression improved.
How many of us feel that velocity could be considered as a measure of improvement?
I was about to ask that. That's what the clients do.
That's what the client. Interesting.
That's what the team.
That's what the team thinks. Okay, I would like to ask people who have not raised their hands, what makes you think that your retrospectives are not so effective?
Maybe do we do retrospective? Maybe that's the first step. That's a good question.
Right. Yes, sir.
We do retrospective, and it is like since our whole thing, I have done the meeting where they are doing it, and I can see like some positive results coming out of it since we are logging it on our like wiki page, and it is there like what we have done good and what we shall do better. So those points are there, and then there we have an option to put like at the rate and the name of the person with like what action and
Something like
that mail goes to that mail goes to them, and there it becomes the action point for them to like carry it forward or like take it and solve it. I have seen some positive results, but they are not a very drastic change, or I have not evaluated it in terms of a story point yet.
Not so radical. Not so radical influence. What do you think? Why the retrospectives are not so popular sometimes? Sometimes they are amazing results.
Sometimes it's many times.
Many things. I wanted to use
Depends upon how it is actually also the engagement of the team.
engagement of the team.
Sometimes bringing somebody into a spot, conference, yes, really finding out what went wrong, and even though we do not want to explicitly mention who did it, but people know about it. Okay, this has gone wrong. Something happened because of some X person not doing this right. Those situations I have felt there's not very good vibes of the team.
When I said this, the impact on me was like, it's not the team who's doing the retrospective. It is they are made to do the retrospective. That's your feeling, right? That's your hope.
In those times, right, many people are doing the retrospective don't really understand the value that they can derive out of it.
Because they were never told about it.
Exactly.
See, Agile coach, they were never told about it. It's not the people the problem is. It's that we have created that. You got to fix that problem first.
And it becomes a formality that must be done rather than.
It's more of a process now. It's more of a process now. If you have people with agile mindset, you don't need a process. Trust me. They'll form the process all by themselves.
Absolutely.
You know Shuhari thing? Yeah? That's what it is. So being agreed is what is a mindset, not a process.
Yeah.
To reach that mindset, we need to do
Yeah.
So they are hesitating to attend the
That's what.
Even the visibility also, challenge, right?
Let's change that mindset now.
I didn't do this. Instead of thinking this and individually.
So we are going to share some tactics, small tactics which you could try out. Not necessarily that these are the best ones. However, you can customize it to your own needs. But through our experience, we have felt that these are some of the things which helps a lot. Let's take a look why retrospectives could become boring. I would like to thank the people who have volunteered for this. My team thought self-organizing team. We are very social. We talk to each other. We don't need it. That is a high-performing syndrome which some teams carry sometimes. Some teams feel like my team is allergic to the word retrospective.
This guy is doing his dream.
Yeah. Somebody feels that my team is special. It is gifted. Or this is the reason because of which I do retrospective. So everybody is busy on their own. Some people do silent retrospective. 2 minutes of silent writing. Not bad. However, if it is working for you. So can retrospectives be popular? Can it be awesome? Right? We talked about mindset. Constant and never-ending improvement. If that is in the mind of the people, then yes, retrospectives could be popular. So here are a couple of tactics or techniques which are not new to people if they have done a little bit of exploration. However, these help a lot. Start with retrospective. Instead of saying, okay, this went well inside the sprint, this did not went well, then these are the improvement actions. Let us try to do a little bit of exploration. Say, can we start something? Can we try to do something different in the teams now? Is there anything which we are doing more, overdoing? Can we stop it? Something like email discussions. I mean, we are discussing a lot and still again we want to have a common agreement and then we want to still send emails.
Yeah, I would compliment Nagesh here. I'll just tell you one thing which hasn't happened with me when I was at home. My son and my wife were struggling with each other. And my wife was asking my son to sing that mantra, some mantra, and he was I don't do it. And she was insisting, do it. No, I don't. Then I was standing out there, I said, you start doing it, you do it. And she started singing that mantra and he started singing the mantra. I'm trying to put an agile coach perspective here. Now these things, somebody said here that make them do something they are not aware of. You should not be really getting awareness that these guys trying to get me do this. But in an oblivious state, he doesn't without the awareness. So these things, these kind of techniques helps to put that obliviousness in that person, and he's still doing something he realizes that this is fruitful for him.
Every time you do different.
Absolutely. Bring his engagement as much as possible. You have to be creative in that.
I would say that through my experience and a couple of other coaches, what I have learned is Scrum Master would try to do innovation in retrospective at least after every third sprint. Shouldn't keep the same kind of stuff for more than 3 times. You could repeat, however, change it. This is one of my favorite Salesforce retrospectives. I don't think it's new to everyone. Anybody who feels that it is new, seeing it for the first time? Anyone? Nice. So one of the guys who is good in painting or not so good may come up with something like this, paint it on the board and say that okay, for us to reach our goal, what kind of rocks we have? These are the kind of obstacles which the team sees. Now you are trying to link it metaphorically to something which they already know. Okay, is there something which is sun? What kind of drive we are getting? What kind of support we can get from the management here? Okay, do we see that any risks? These are some sharks, wild sharks which can come and which can impede your agility. So this gives a sense of safe environment for people to say that okay, I can still come up, write some post-its, put it here and then we leverage the discussion. Right? This is also something which we would like to talk about. In the retrospective, come up with some nice cars and say that, guys, how was our sprint? What kind of experience did we have? Maruti 800 or Ferrari? If somebody says that,
yeah, this is more of a relative thing. And human brain is very relative. We try to relate it to everything.
yeah,
We relate our jobs with our family. We relate our family with the jobs. Right? And sometimes even children gets related to the job. You know, my children will be waiting out there, I have to get back. Fine. Why do we get that thing? You want to do so that relationship is what is the problem. So let's put it in a relative way that how you relate things with other things.
and then you can leverage discussion, right? Somebody, team member said, no, we are Ferrari. Wow, that's great, guys. So So what makes you think so? Now the coding skills should start. If somebody says I'm happy with Maruti 800, then that's again the point of retrospection for the teams to say that yes, it is good to do Maruti 800. However, would you like to drive it? This comes from a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Stephen Covey. So he talks about the circle of influence and circle of concern. Scrum teams are self-organizing in nature, cross-functional. However, they have some boundaries within which they have to operate. So they need to know what is our circle of influence within which we can change these things, and what is that which is out of our control. Stop bothering about the stuff like Bangalore traffic. You cannot control that, so however, do not spend time on thinking about that. So this says that how can you shift your mind from reactive thinking to proactive thinking.
And also this is a good way of doing retrospectives. Right?
There's also a circle of control, right?
Yeah. That's it. Because
that's circle of influence. 3 circles, right?
There are 2 circles. So middle one is circle of influence, and we should grow bigger, bigger, bigger. How many times it happens when we change jobs? We come to the office first day. I don't know where the pantry is. I want to go for a bio. I don't know where to go. How my teammates are going to be? I do not know. I do not know whether I am going to get a good boss. Lot of questions. So you have something like this on the first day.
Yeah, you said circle of control.
Yeah, actually there are 3 circles: circle of control, then influence, and then concern. There are 3 circles.
Yes, the circle of influence is what is circle of control. Something which you can influence. Right?
We can take it off.
Yeah, fine.
Absolutely.
More the circles, more the field.
However, this is a framework. You can customize it to your own needs. If you feel putting a third circle is helping you, definitely go ahead. Do that. Yeah, this is one of my favorites. This is something which you can see as a Scrum Master or an Agile coach. You should know, you should be able to read the temperature of your group. If there are some people inside your team who are not so vocal to keep their emotions inside, this is something which you can say that saying that okay, draw some pictures, nice cool pictures, and say that how I felt during the sprint, what gave me happiness. Okay, there are certain good things which happened which gave me happiness. What are some things which have surprised me? Wow, Eureka moment for me. Did it happen? Eureka moment would be also like product owner area in asking you to do a check. I don't know mine. Come on, that could be Eureka. Inspired. Is there something inspiring moment for you? So you can add more kind of emotions. This helps a lot.
Can I interrupt in this? You don't need a retrospective to use this. You can keep a box in your floor. Whenever they end of the day, how they felt, just put a smile or not smile. That's more than enough. And take down the retrospective day. See, these are the things we have, and let's see why.
Instruct and adapt.
Yeah, I agree with Albert, but there is one concern I have with that approach. Is you're creating an anonymous environment in your organization.
Yes.
It's not an openness there. People are not courageous to talk in front of me because they have a box.
Yeah, that happens.
Right? So you're actually hitting the culture down there by doing something you're not supposed to do.
But
That's
as a coach, you need to.
yeah, that's my feeling. That's my feeling. I felt that.
Well, maybe first we need to create an environment.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I
totally agree.
Create an open
Give me a
environment.
fight for that.
You create an open environment. For me, one too. Create an open environment. That probably would work. Yeah.
So one of the challenges I've faced in the past as a master is, when some team members use retrospective as a platform for venting out their frustration. And it could because something happened in the past, they were blamed for some mistake, and now it's more of a revenge kind of thing. Anybody else is doing something. So for them it becomes a platform for venting out their frustrations or pointing the fingers at other people. How do you deal with these people?
Let them vent out the frustration.
That is the reason we have as
It's
part
important
Let
sometimes.
them do it.
as part of the retrospective.
Let them find out.
You have certain stages. First is setting the stage.
Absolutely.
You will say what to do, what not to do, what is acceptable, what is unacceptable, what kind of emotions that can be showcased, what has to be taken outside. That first portion of the retrospective meeting,
Setting the stage is very important.
is extremely important, and everyone has to adhere to that.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And that's going to come in my further slides as well. Thank you for
But as he mentioned, in the second stage, as a everybody is mentioned already that some as a box you can put it. But ideally, if you see teams don't open up, as per my observance, people don't open up. They don't say, if the manager is sitting there or the scrum master, probably someone is sitting, I'm not going to take up this points. So most of the cases, Albert, your point comes up. But ideally, we need to set the stage as a gentleman said that, we need to aware the people that, this is your environment, come and speak.
That's the job of the scrum master, believe me.
Again, there are techniques, how to make people open up, There are several techniques. One technique is simply giving a time slot for one person. You have to speak whatever you like in those 1 minute time or 2 minutes time. You have to encourage such kind of techniques.
And there is one more thing which is called explain and explore. People are, now if you see the kind of discussion we have is more of an explain mindset. We're trying to relate whatever has been talked about here with your situations out there. Right? So we are trying to relate that. But the actual mindset we should be sitting here with the explore. What is that I'm going to learn? What is that the takeaway for me is? That learning, you're missing that learning, which is more important, by putting that explain mindset. So there is an activity which helps team or people to come to explore mindset from an explain mindset. But maybe next time we talk about it.
There is something called as ESVP. If you Google, you will know. E for explorers, S for shoppers, then V for vacationers, and P for
dreamers.
Right? So when you start doing retrospectives, you will see these kind of people. Prisoners obviously don't want to participate, they don't want to take away anything. But explorers are the ones who actually want to actively participate. You need to identify who are the ESVPs within your team, and as a coach you need to respond appropriately to make everyone come to
Yeah, you are talking about the bias management, what we have with bias. And I think it's from the DISA that training. There is a training called JT facilitator, and there was a technique called bias management where at the beginning of that, I think we need to decide which meeting we want to use it, and there will be a script given to each member, and they will have to write and put it on the post. Where you talk about what is the fear you have about this meeting, what is the positive things you expect. So nobody is allowed to exclude from that. Everyone has to give their view. So it forces them to put something there.
I followed another way of doing it, which is nothing but all the team members should have one good point, as many as bad points, and one action. As a team member, you need to do it, and it should not be repeated.
See, these all our techniques are just guidelines. Give you a start. Then you can innovate. You can give air to your thoughts. Walt Disney, I was quite impressed with Walt Disney because he said that he has been using this technique, very simple one, yet so effective, to create the Disneyland. So he says that when somebody talks about some ideas, do not kill them at the first place. Let them be dreamers, right? Let the ideas float. Give them a vision, think about it, and do not put any filter in the beginning. And next stage, we say that, is this realistic? Is it possible to do that? Okay, now that is something where you try to organize the idea and try to see whether it is realistic to do that. And third is you become critic for that idea. That means you are putting holes in the idea now and see that, is it tangible? How beneficial it is to the organization and the team. So this is a technique, and Walt Disney said that every time he used this, he found it very successful. This is something which we use a lot. We can share this with you, the link where you can find this, and these metaphors helps a lot, because he said that, okay, I took a pull card and said, Scrum Master as a coach. Was Scrum Master acted as a coach in the last place? Did he have a coach? Okay. It's just the product owner is the driver of the team. Product owner was not available throughout the sprint. How can he be the driver of the team? So that would be something which metaphors helps a lot. And Scrum is a football game. Can anybody relate to that?
It's a collaboration.
Collaboration, what else does a football game have?
Common goal.
Absolutely. Teamwork. Time box. What else? Result oriented.
And the victory.
Somebody pays for it, somebody watches the football game, right? They are the stakeholders who are investing. So you can see that how metaphorically it is connected to the team.
This one?
This is called as mother-in-law.
What comes to your mind?
Criticism.
rich. You got to become a cricketer. I can understand your pain.
You see the two facets of this? Where is coming from? Where is coming from to this? This from his mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law, let's speak, guys. I could always had a better brother-in-law. Son-in-law.
That's all going on YouTube, just let me know.
And let me know your mother-in-law's email ID.
Scrum Master as a sheepdog. This says that, okay, within the team the Scrum Master acts as a sheep. However, when there are some stakeholders who are trying to bother the team, he takes the position of a dog. That's how the Scrum Master is a sheepdog. So these are certain metaphors which you can use in your team.
And this is really good and funny. You know, first time you show it, people start laughing and then they go in a different mood altogether. They tend to forget that you have to make up things now. No? And then they tend to be more natural. So they speak up.
And as Scrum Masters, you guys have to be very good facilitators, guys. Facilitation is the first step of becoming an agile coach.
That's the toughest job.
Yeah. This is something which I used a lot. So we used to call it as PDS technique plus delta and hash. So that means that what were the good things which happened in our teams, right? In the last sprint, those are the pluses. And this delta doesn't say that how far you have come. This says that how far you have to go. This is my current state. Define the future state. And say that to go there, how much is the lag now? What is the delta? And hash, once you come up with the action points, everybody come up and says that putting the hashtag, say, I agree, something like Facebook has likes. Like. So, this is a simple technique, works very well. Scamper. I use Scamper in my old office, in my previous organization. Basically, this is mostly used in the product development organizations, in which you have to do a lot of brainstorming innovation techniques. Is there any process which I can substitute? Okay. Is there anything which I can combine two things together? So I can do value stream mapping here. Can I adapt? What can we adapt here? Okay. Is there anything which needs modification here? Can I eliminate something? Can I rearrange? So this is a small acronym of putting certain things together and think, how can we make it better? Do we have some creative people here? I need 2 volunteers. Yeah, please, one more. Thanks. Please come.
We didn't have any doubt about his creativity. It was like this.
Yeah, he was a confident. He's a good name. Karan. Nice to meet you, Karan. Good name. Vinay. Nice to meet you. So our 2 friends are going to do some creativity here. So this is another technique which is called as Zorin's story cubes. Very popular in Europe. I happened to go to Denmark and I bought some story cubes there, from there. So what the team is supposed to do is, they'll have a set of cubes like this. These are also available in Amazon, you can buy it, not so costly. And then, the Scrum Master or the team members will say that I have some story cubes which are 9 cubes, discussed in 3 different things like action, voyage, traveler. And the team is supposed to roll the dice. 3 dice will help you to create the initiation of the story, beginning of the story. 3 dice will help you to form the middle of the story, and 3 will help you to close the story. Now what is the story about? How was our sprint experience? Now our friends are going to roll the dice and they are going to try this experiment with it, right? Let's see how creative they are, and they are going to define how was their sprint experience. Right? Maybe we could do it down or okay, take this. So roll the dice and then we will separate. Choose any 3 to begin your story. Choose any 3 to complement the story in the middle and 3 to end the story.
3 to begin the story, right?
Right. Nice. And then 3 to in the middle of the experience, middle experience of the story. Nice. And 3 to end the story. Okay, now try to craft your story. Tell to your team members, this is a big team which is working on a single product backlog.
which I'm trying to, try to sort it out for you all. I've seen this, examination. So there is a thought examination which is done, and after that, yeah. So you can see this aeroplane structure, right? So we need to create the windows. We have to think about the window of the, creating a window of aeroplane. That's the story what we're going to do. So I think you get that tree structure is an epic. We have examined that, and this is what we're going to do. And this is the beginning, right? Yeah. So we come to like execution stage, where you can see the sprinkler, right? Probably it's a magic stick where we know that it will happen. Or probably how we examine is like execution, where you see you see this arrow, right? So we're docked there. We know exactly what we're gonna. It's a time box, and we know what we're gonna do. And it's like third thing is a magnet here. So we know that what all possibilities are there and how we're gonna be connected to the sprint execution story. So probably even if we are lacking something, it's still there. So we know the team members are aware what we're going to do. So that's what a magnet is there. The last one is completion, right? So you can see we have explored all the possibilities, right? We're not there. We know that where we actually wanted it to go. We can see this. It's a stick kind of stuff. Probably we're done with the first play. We know that this is what exactly we wanted to come up with, and something where we have executed it, we have our results, and we can do a retrospective around the same.
Can we have a round of applause for Karan?
Thank you very much.
So what happens is you can use these techniques. These techniques are again framework, guys. So this can help you to set the stage. As you rightly said, when team is stuck up with ideas, they do not know that, okay, I'm not getting what to do, I'm not remembering also. There's only one good point, maybe one improvement point. Then this is the time to give air to your thoughts, right? Seeing that how creative people are. And sometimes teams feel that creativity is not my cup of tea. There's only one person who is creative in the team or innovator. So this is the time for doing a test, reality check to say that no, this is not a cup of only one person's tea, everybody could do that. It's simple, right? Thank you so much, Karan. You like to type, right? Please.
Sprint start with like we have the street, this is what so this sprint is going to be there are a lot of things going to be now, a lot of things on the stage. This is going to add some value to the product. So we have this fish. So during this sprint we'll have to flow, very easy. We'll have to take it easy, go smoothly. Okay, enjoy the time. You know this is important, so just take it easy. Okay, so yeah, so you see this balance, right? Okay, keep it, keep everything in balance, your work, your life. Okay, enjoy it. Don't spend much time in the office, but for your 5 or 6 hours. Okay, this is where I go with my team. I always tell them, okay, work for only 6 hours or 5 hours maximum. Okay, the rest of the time you should spend on yourself and do other activities. Okay, so enjoy.
How about deliver the sprint goals?
Yes. We have question mark. We are in the middle of a sprint. Do we really see we are getting to the goal? Okay. If not, what is stopping us? What is the issues, concerns as of now which we can resolve? Let's discuss this. We are still have a week to go. So there are a lot of time, plenty of time remaining. We can always discuss. Okay. I think half moon.
Half sprint is done, right?
Okay. So half sprint is done, and you can see the moonlight. There's a lot of bright light coming in. Okay. So we have done a lot of work. We have done good job so far. Let's keep it up. Let's give 100% of it and finish it up.
And make it a full moon. Yeah. Somebody said it right. Very nice.
There's some something here like do you have learning from this book basically which you want to apply to the next week, something will good. If you really want to apply, yes, just go ahead and let other people know what is happening in the team. Okay. Activities. Okay. We have completed what we wanted to. It was a very interesting course and we have achieved it, so I think our request for all of you. Alright, we have pulled it together. We worked as a team and we have pulled it together. Guys, I mean, you are amazing. You high five.
Nice, nice, very nice. So, as Scrum Master, these are certain tools which you can have in your toolkits, which can help you always. I have a last one which is also something like
when exactly you do it?
Yeah, so you could do it during your retrospectives, and some teams they can do it in your sprint planning also. So whenever you feel you are short of ideas, these certain things can help you to form stories.
Just to break the ice.
Absolutely, just to break the ice, because we are very good in connecting with stories, right? Ramayana, Mahabharata, we love it. 6 thinking hacks. I think most of the people might be knowing this. However, this helps a lot during situations where you have confusions. So every hack has a particular emotion or fact or some entity associated with it. So it could be possible that the facilitator always wear the blue hat, which says that process control, and then you could start with something like a white hat, not necessarily buy a hat. You can actually have a virtual hat saying that, hey guys, let's wear a white hat. Okay, now we talk about the facts. Where are we? Where do we want to go? Okay, nice. Now is the time to talk about the feelings. Now when you set the stage saying that everybody is going to talk about how they felt during the sprint, one person will never feel as cornered or alien. Otherwise, one person will always feel that, can I express my feeling? I have so much to talk about, but can I talk now? But when you say that this is the time, guys, open your heart, everybody is okay for that. And then you say that, give your creativity. Can you do something creative here? Is there anything positive about it? Many times it happens, guys, somebody says that, I want to say something good, immediately the idea is killed. Somebody comes up and says that, I don't think it works. So that is the moment for you as a facilitator to say that, hang on guys, everybody talks at least one positive thing. Like Albert said, right? So everybody is going to talk about positive things. So you are actually focusing everyone to think positive aspects of it. Now you say that, okay, now we talk about it. Wear a black hat and say, become a critic. Black hat is more like becoming advocate, devil's advocate, and see that how much realistic it is possible. Not necessary to use all the hats all the times. If you feel this sprint was a very hard sprint for us, I need my people to talk, you just say, guys, this is the sprint only to talk about red hat. Let's talk only about feelings. You can experiment with that. So it is totally up to you. Only thing is, as a facilitator, always wear a blue hat so you can actually give direction to your tweets. And this is what I was talking to give a framework for retrospective. As retrospective has to be set a stage first. That means setting the expectation right. What is our objective of this retrospective? This is the job of facilitator. And then gather the data. After gathering the data, it is very important to generate the insights. During this phase, you could use any of these techniques or some technique which best suits you. Right? And then you decide what to do. Here is where you have to come up with tangible, actionable and committed improvements. Right? And then close the retrospective with action points. Here is the reference from which I have gathered these certain techniques, and these are the books, guys. I would highly recommend you go through this. Agile retrospectives and the game storming. However, I think this presentation would be available to be shared with you. Maran?
You don't think it is going to be?
Okay. Thank you so much. I hope it helped. And if during the Scrum Manual retrospective we could use any of these techniques, we could see whether it really works or not. Thank you so much.
No questions for this person here, or was not doing the talk?
Yes, sir.
The last point in the previous slide you mentioned the actions. So what I feel from my retrospective is that when everything is important and nothing is important. So we need to filter out what action is important.
Very important is, that's why I say that outcome of the retrospective should be actionable and committed improvements. When I say
tangible,
absolutely. So when I say committed, that means that it is only committed when it is prioritized, and you could actually see the tangible outcomes in your next step. Thank you so much for bringing the point.
Committed is anti-agile. Yeah. It's a forecast. It's a forecast.
So when I say commitment, it is commitment to the Scrum core values.
More closer to Scrum perhaps.
Thank you so much.
Well, any other questions? Any other questions before we?
I mean, for everyone, we have some sort of gaming experience where we play a game instead of retro and it succeeds basically. Any otherwise it becomes very good. How will it go? Yeah.
Innovation games are about the website or even the remote retrospectives or physical ones also by the other.
She gives you some very basic ideas based on which you can build your games.
Which side? The book yesterday. And also the stages that you get from the same book. For each stage there are activities and games for each stage. Explain that. The other one is innovation games for the watch.
Any question that is not answered, you can add it as an open space. Do we have post-its?
Yeah, right. Distributed post-its open space would be this wall, this pillar or that pillar. And there's a couple of other websites as well. There's something also called a retrospective wiki. It's like a wiki page dedicated only for Agile retrospective. Yeah. Right. But by the way, how did you like the title of the presentation, End-Based Retrospective?
I just want to ask one last question. Did you feel that you have explored at least one new technique of doing retrospective today?
Yeah.
Yes. Nice. Thank you so much.
I guess you go back to sleep now.
No, for us, I think the value will be in the user. Yes. If they are good experience. Yeah, definitely.
We're doing excellent on time. It's 11:25. Just a reminder about the Twitter contest and the Wi-Fi. We come back after 20 minutes, okay? And we'll hear about XP programming practice.